Another criticism that I hear levelled against structured products is that they are high charged and pay high commissions. In a vast majority of circumstances, this is absolute nonsense. And again, it's something put around by people who either don't understand what a structured product is or what they're about, or they have something against them. If we compare them against an open-ended investment company, for example, and bear in mind we use open-ended investment companies and unit trusts more than we do structured products, but they have an initial charge typically of 5% and an annual management charge of typically 1.5%. Let's take that over a 5-year period. That means that our cumulative charges amount to 7.5% worth of annual management charges in very simple terms and a 5% initial charge. Compare that against a structured product in the IFA space. It's going to offer you an initial charge, or it's going to have an initial charge of somewhere between 4.5% and 7.5%, with no further charges applied to it over that 5 or 6 year investment period. So the charges are actually less. Also, the defined nature of a structured product is declared after the effective charges. So something is offering you, let's say it's an auto call contract, and it's offering you a 9% coupon payable on the first year that the FTSE's higher. That 9% is paid on the original investment, regardless of the charges that have been taken into account. Now granted, if there were no charges, that 9% might have been 10.5%, but you get a very defined nature net of charges. And of course all the charges have to be disclosed in terms of what's on offer in terms of a structured product. So they're outlined at the front. If the bank or the provider are looking to charge a higher amount than the rest of the providers, it means their contract's going to be uncompetitive. Now the commission on a structured product, whilst it's still available, is 3% usually, much the same as it is on a unit trust. Now the unit trust might also pay an annual commission of say 0.5% and the structured product doesn't. Now from an advisor's perspective, the work on recommending a structured product happens at the beginning of the investment term. So when that contract matures, he will then have to give further advice. Now he might charge another 3% at that time, whereas the annual management charge on the unit trust means that he's being remunerated for monitoring that investment. So there's no right and wrong here, but to suggest that structured products per se are high charged and pay high commissions is just frankly wrong.